Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Today is Tuesday. We got a lovely episode for you guys, locked and loaded, ready to go. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's another day in the office. You know what I mean? It's back to work, all that good stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed the free February episode, and all the crazy gambling stories, me rambling on about, God knows what, crazy scenarios and all that stuff. So, hopefully we got another awesome week, you know what I mean? On Thursday, we'll be continuing the book, all that good stuff. We had a good Sunday episode. So, hope you guys have been enjoying all the content, man. I've been pretty much uploading every single day for 2026, man. 2026, we on the grind, baby. We on the grind. I'm starting to get back into uploading shorts and all that kind of stuff. So, pretty much in between the episodes, just uploading shorts and clips and all that stuff. So hope you guys are enjoying all the content. Hope you guys are enjoying the crazy explosion in content that we've been giving you guys for this year. But we have seen an explosion as far as, upping in views, as well as upping in, watch time and people subscribing and all that good stuff and supporting the show and everything. And I just wanted to say thank you. It's, you know what I mean? January was a good month. And it's crazy to me because I wasn't projecting January to be a good month. I was like, January is going to be a decent month. It is what it is. I didn't expect it to be one of my best months overall. Crazy enough, it was one of my best months, and I just thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do. Man, after doing this show for almost 3 years now, crazy work. I would have never thought, starting this podcast in 2023 that we would get this far in and, we'd still be going. I really thought I was going to run out of scenarios by now. I thought we were going to be just out of shit. No, man, you guys really keep the show going, man. I will not lie to you. You guys keep the show going. So, hey, as long as you guys keep sending in scenarios and keep sending in thread ideas and all that kind of stuff, man, I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to keep rocking and rolling on into the year, all right? So without further ado, let's get into our thread. Our thread for today is, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's home? All right, so let's see what crazy weird thing y'all motherfuckers have seen in someone else's home. I went to my friend Brian's house once for dinner, and his mom set 4 plates, one for me, one for Brian, one for herself, and the last one was for a doll with a cutout picture of Brian's dead grandmother's face taped to the doll's face. Very creepy. What? Oh, hell nah. I would not sleep over at his house. Oh, no, I ain't sleeping over at his house. That's not happening. After seeing that, I would just be like, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep. Mom, come pick me up, please, right now. Because they got some old poltergeist demon shit going on in this house. I ain't trying to deal with it. No, thank you. I'm not trying to wake up to some, paralysis demon at the door or some shit. Nuh-uh. And homeboy over here talking about, oh, that's just grandma. Don't worry about it. That's just grandma. She's good. She ain't gonna hurt you. And you just like, she ain't gonna what now? Huh? You know what I mean? You over here talking about,
help me, nigga.
Like, bro, get me out this house immediately, bro. Oh, hell nah. No. Yeah, bro, I'd call my mom instantly. Immediately. Okay. What's the weirdest thing that you've seen in someone else's house? A large catfish in the only bathtub in the friend's house. What? Huh? You saw a whole catfish inside their tub? Imagine. You get from outside playing with your friend and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, wash up, and we're gonna have dinner, and you turn the light on in there, and you go to turn the shower on, there's just a big ass fish in there, and you're just like, what? Why you got a big ass fish in here, dog? He's like, oh yeah, that's my uncle's fish, yeah, we gotta take him out or we could just, stand in the water and, he'll just be chilling. Like, bro, that's crazy. Like, why was that fish there? What was it doing? Was it dead? Was it alive? Was it swimming around? Was it flapping and shit? Like, I would love to have some more context on why there was a catfish in somebody's bathtub. You know what I mean? All right, on to our next one. What is the weirdest thing that you have seen in someone else's house? I went to my friend's house to get ready for a Halloween party. I had a typical Wednesday Addams look, and someone suggested it would be cool if I had a little hand to use as the thing. It turned out her mom had a collection of hand-themed objects, mostly plastic or ceramic hands in a room. This made my costume 100% better, and people kept stopping to congratulate me. That's cool. That's cool. Little creepy, but cool. You know what I mean? For her to just be like, oh, hey, I got the perfect thing for you. Come into my room of hands. I got all kinds of different hands for you. You know what I mean? We got some big hands, little hands, small hands, wide hands, long hands. Yeah, we got all the hands for you we could possibly have. I make hands. I love it. It's my shit. I come home from work. Yeah, I sit in front of the TV and I make hands. Now, what I thought she was going to say was that for some reason she had human remains of actual human hands in there. And then I was about to be like, what now? You know what I mean? That's what I thought, but thank God it didn't go that way. Whew. Oh, we're good. We're safe. Because honestly, I ain't going to lie to you. Knowing, this podcast, but yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't put it past. What's the weirdest thing that you have seen in someone else's house? My ex's grandparents' house had a fully furnished basement with closed doors that tunneled to other closed doors. Then in the middle of the basement, a child's bedroom complete with twin bed and entirely outfitted with children's decor and toys. No children lived there for decades.
Bruh.
What? It makes me think that, like, that house might have been, part of, I don't know, something to do with, I don't know, war or something where, you know what I mean? They needed a place to hide or they needed a place to go and whatnot. I'm sure all that stuff was probably there before they even got the house, which was probably crazy to think about. Because, dude, in order for you to have, like, a basement and then you have all these little sub areas of a basement, that's kind of crazy. And most people, look, fully furnished basement, whatever. Yeah, that's nothing. Who cares? A lot of people have fully furnished basements, but in order for it to have like other, connecting rooms and all that stuff and like have kids stuff all over the place, and they're like, oh yeah, there hasn't been a kid in here in decades. You're just like, what the fuck? Are y'all doing y'all kidnapping kids and shit? That would be crazy, man. If like years later they just get arrested for like kidnapping kids and shit like that, and they were in their basement the whole time and you guys just didn't know. Bro, that would be crazy. Man, I mean, I'm speculating, but I'm just saying. Imagine, though. Imagine. All right, what is the weirdest thing that you have seen in someone else's home? Adult-sized nursery had an internet-friendly locally that I was... that I was visiting at their place for the first time. Had to use the washroom. Asked which room it was. They said on the left, so I went out to the left and opened the first door. As he came running out to say, not that door, there was a BBQ in the middle of the room. So I asked why there was a barbecue. He was surprised. All of this, and you asked about the barbecue. So I told him, well, yes, everything else fits together. You do what you want in your own home. Yeah, did he explain the barbecue? It was the only room with enough space. Okay, so he had an adult nursery. I wouldn't know how to feel about that if I saw that. If I walked in on my friend, if I walked into one of my friend's rooms in their house and they had an adult nursery, I'd be like, what in the hell kind of shit be going on in here, my guy? You know, I'd be like, "Hey, you got like a baby kink or some shit, you know, where you want the girl to like take care of you as like a baby or something. You get off on that shit, like, you just think about it, you know, think about that, like I get it. People have some crazy kinks and some weird, you know, things that they like and whatnot. That's cool. What it is. Not saying, you know, but at the same time, imagine if that was your friend and you walked in and you see a big ass crib for an adult. You see like some, you know, adult diapers and shit. You see like toys and all that kind of stuff. And you're just like, you spend all your money on this? Like, what the fuck? You know, bro, I'm sorry, but I'd be judgy. I would. I'd judge the shit out of him. I'd judge the fuck out of my friend, man. I ain't gonna cap. Especially if that was what he actually liked. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, bro, come on, man. Oh, shit. All right, what is the weirdest thing that you've seen in someone else's home? Toured a condo, and they had a communal shower. You know, the kind you would see at the YMCA, like 6 shower heads. I pictured them having all their buddies over and taking a shower together. Yeah, no. No. I'm never going to pay for a place where there's communal showers. You got me fucked up to the highest degree. No, thank you. Who in the hell thinks that communal showers is a good idea? That is dumb beyond belief. Why in the hell would I want to sit there and wait to have to take a shower, or I got to shower with motherfuckers? You know, nah, man. Nah. That's disgusting. I get it. There's places that do that and whatnot. You know, I'm sure college dorms do that to some degree or whatever. But, bro, no. No to the no to the no. There's no way I would do some shit. I'd be like, yeah, no, this is not the place for me. No thanks. I'd move the fuck on, man. All right. On to our next one. What's the weirdest thing that you have seen in someone else's home? Several years ago, my best friend was dating this girl from Alaska. She told us how her and her family were hunters for food, not sport. When they lived out there, anyway, we go to her house. For the first time, her parents had bear skins and headlinings their walls, bear rugs, fucking bear emporium once you walked into the front door. The parents asked if we wanted some drinks and that there was different kinds of beers and whatever in the fridge in the garage. We go out there and there are 2 fridges. We open one and it's a fucking bear head and other parts of it. Okay, wrong fridge. Oh, shit.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Imagine opening a refrigerator and there's just a bear head. Like, yo, okay. We get some and we go back inside. Wait, hold on. Okay, wrong fridge. We go to the next and it's the Holy Grail of beer variety. We get some and we go back inside and we all sit in the dining room table for some chips and snacks. In the center was a decent sized glass bowl of bones. My buddy picks one out and just was checking it out and then asks what they were from. It was a bowl of bear dicks, basically. Bear what?
What did he say?
When they would bag a male bear, they would keep the bone from its penis as sort of a trophy? What? Hold on. Let's bring this back. It was weird enough, okay, that they had like bear rugs and you know, bear heads on the wall. And then, you know, you go into a refrigerator and it's just like, yo, there's a bear head in there. That's crazy. But to have a bowl of bare bone dicks is wild beyond imagination, bro. Like, and it's not that they had 1 or 2. They had a bowl full. A bowl full. Sitting in the living room like it's normal. They're just like, yeah, that's everyday decor. a bowl of bear dick bones. Bro, what? You got to be kidding. Wow. I don't know what to think of that. You know what I mean? Like I'm dumbfounded. Absolutely dumbfounded at that. Oh my goodness. That is crazy, dude. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You guys let me know what you think about that one. Damn. Oh my God. All right, let's get on to our next one. What is the weirdest thing that you have seen in someone else's home? I just bought a house, and part of the deal was we had to clean out the belongings from the previous owner, which was an elderly woman. Every single drawer and cabinet had at least one book of matches and teeth flossers. You can tell she lost those motherfuckers every single time. Like, she would use it, put it back, and forget where she had it. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to buy so many of these damn things. I'm going to put them all over the place. That's crazy. Hey, at least you got matches for days, man. You know? Shit. You got matches and teeth flossers for days. Yes, that's a W. On to our next one. What's the weirdest thing that you've seen in someone else's home? I attended a party at this gorgeous mansion, beautiful home. There was fake food everywhere. I don't mean like a bowl of fake fruit on the table. I mean like 12 place settings with a full turkey dinner and all the sides. Some of the food on the plates appeared to be partially eaten, like a roll with a bite out of it. They were very lifelike, as if they were custom made props. The kitchen had more of the same. Another room had a huge arrangement of petite fours and desserts, all fake. The office had a plate of partially eaten sandwich and chips. Bathroom had fake mints. The party was on the lower level where they were serving real food, but every other room in the house had some kind of artificial food display. The only other thing I remember was that they had a really nice dog. I would be surprised if that dog is now stuffed from eating the fake food. That's crazy. What the heck? Now, I get decor, and I get, you want to make things, I guess, look lived in. That's probably one of those things where that house is just a party house for them. They must be one of those people where they're just so rich that they look at it like, yeah, we want to make this house feel like it's lived in, but at the same time, we don't ever live in this house. We don't ever use this house unless we're partying. You know what I mean? Like, I generally think that that's kind of what's going on with that. I think that's what was going through their minds, I guess, with that decor, or what they were doing with that house, because that is really weird. Like, I've never heard of somebody having that much fake food in their house. And then to go as far as putting it in the bathrooms, putting it in the office, putting it in the kitchens and all, like, what is the point of all that? Look, the dining table, I get that one, okay? Dining table makes sense. It makes it look full. It makes it look nice. It makes it, look a little lived in, whatever. But the fake mints in the bathroom, somebody's going to choke on those. You know what I mean? The fake sandwich and chips in the study, like, where do you get that? Like, where in the hell, what depths of Amazon do you go to find fake food to that degree? And it be so realistic looking too. Like, shit. Think about it, bro. That's crazy. Wow. All right, hey. Okay, we're going to do two more in the one in the thread. I used to work as a mover. Had a massive job moving a guy's home, including library, gun safes, and filled with Civil War memorabilia, or War of Northern Aggression, as he'd say. And apparently a GIMP mask. Yo! That boy gets down. This in of itself wasn't so weird, maybe, but the guy was retiring as a preacher. 2-day job with 5 or 6 of us each day, 0 tip. He was a what now?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Bro was a preacher with a GIMP mask? Oh, man. Yeah, that boy was indulging in the devil outside of God's gaze. God damn. Boy was just like, well, Jesus is away. The creepy gimp comes to stay. Like, bro, what? You're crazy. Now, look, like I said, or like he said, it ain't that bad finding it. Do what you gonna do. Get a little freaky if you want to get a freaky leaky. But the fact that you are over here being a priest, you over here, spitting the word of God in the gospel, and you out here indulging in the freaky acts, man. Damn. He said, hey, brother, God died, Jesus died on that cross so we can sin, baby. And sin, I'm going to sin, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm getting it on. I got a couple freak leaks coming over tonight. So I got to make sure y'all up out of here. Yo, bruh. Wild work. All right, this is going to be our last one of this thread. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's house? Someone in town I used to live in had a pet fox. Well-groomed, collared, behaved, still a fox though. And he was a publican? Yeah, okay. He was a publican. The man, not the fox. So some days you'd be having a pint and there'd be just a fox chilling on the corner of the pub. That's kind of cool though. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. If I lived near somebody who had a fox, that'd be dope. I'd want to play with it and pet it all the time. I would even offer to babysit it too. That would be dope, man. I wouldn't be. Yeah. That one's probably the most like tamest one out of all of them. I ain't gonna lie to you. That one's probably the most wholesome, chilling one. Cause all the other ones, crazy work. Absolutely crazy. But hey, it is what it is. That's the nature of these threads, bro. You never know what you're going to get. These threads are like a box of chocolates every single week. You know what I mean? Whether it's the Tuesday or the Thursday or the Sunday show. You never, ever know. It's like open up a box of chocolate every single week. You know what I mean? I ain't going to lie to you. So, let me know what you think about that thread down in the comments. If you have seen something crazy at a friend's house or somebody that you know's house or whatever it may be, definitely put it down in the comments and let your boy know. Get a part of the thread. If you want to... we're going to hop into announcements and then get right into scenarios. So, patreon.com/MyTheAsshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show. If you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, I'm brain fogging here. Sorry. Patreon.com/MyTheAsshole Podcast. Exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show. Over 100 hours of content over there waiting for you guys. If you guys want to check out, what the Friday episodes are all about and all that kind of stuff, we did a free Patreon episode last week. So go ahead and check that out. Start your free 7-day free trial and get that access to over 100 hours of content over there. Hopefully we'll be pretty soon. We should be able to do YouTube membership, and then I'll be able to move all the Patreon stuff over to YouTube membership though. And I will keep you guys posted on that. So don't worry. I'll let you guys know when all that content moves over, and then you guys can kind of move all over to that, and it'll be a little easier for you guys. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing over the weeks and months. Appreciate you guys for downloading every single episode, coming out every week, hanging out. Whether you watch only the Tuesday episodes, the Tuesday Sunday episodes, just the Thursday episodes, or you watch them all, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I appreciate it. Rate us 5 stars on your preferred platform, as well as following us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free, and it helps out tremendously. So thank you guys so much for all the support. Without further ado, let's get into today's scenarios for today's episode. We got some pretty juicy ones for you. Our first one is, am I overreacting for losing my female best friend? All right. Long story short, my best friend had went through a tough breakup where she broke up with her toxic ex. She then invited me to go with her to Mexico. On this trip, the first day, she asked me if I liked her, to which I admitted I did. She kissed me. She invited me into the shower. Aw, shit. She asked me to share a bed, and then halfway through the trip, her ex reaches out to her, and everything went sideways. She started becoming distant and leaving to sit on the phone for hours. After coming back, she has been extremely distant, but reached out to say happy birthday, to which I thanked her, but asked if we were good because the vibe seemed off. And her response was yes, just needed some distance, a lot of anxiety lately. Now, when we cross paths, she won't even look at me and I can see her shrink. If I knew this trip meant the end of our relationship, or our friendship, sorry, I wouldn't have went. And now I'm sad and angry, stuck missing my best friend, who I genuinely loved for who they were. Am I overreacting? Has anyone ever been in a similar position and could offer some advice? Dang, man. Oh, that's tough, bro. I don't know if this is a guy or if this is a girl. I'm going to put it in the lens of a guy. And just kind of dude, it's a thing where it's like you gotta just, okay, you kind of gotta take these situations just for what they are. You know what I mean? Like, she needed a little quick rebound, yada yada situation thing. She decided to do it with you. Obviously, I think she felt a lot of guilt because that was something I don't think she really wanted to do or was expecting to do with you. But, you know, she's acting out of high emotion. She's acting out of just, you know, just crazy spontaneity, everything like that. And so, you know, she can't really look at you in the face because maybe, you know, you didn't give her that reassurance of just like, hey, it's all good. Like, let's just be friends. Like, we don't have to date. We don't have to be anything more than that. Because I guarantee you for her, it was like the moment the ex called back, you know, and she was talking to him all the time and this and that, she felt mad guilty for doing what she was doing with you. You know what I mean? Mad guilty. And she felt like, oh, fuck, I ruined it. Because think about it like this. She probably looked at it like, oh, man, she probably looked at it like this. I did this with him, you know, and I immediately regret it. He probably now thinks that because I asked him, hey, do you like me? And, you know, I'm doing all this stuff where we're canoodling and having a good time. It makes me feel like a jerk and an asshole because I'm kind of taking it all back. You know what I mean? Like you kind of led him on to believe that there was something going on or something was coming out of this. And then you just kind of cut it cold turkey. And so I think for her, she feels just like, I think it's better for me to just kind of like let it go and let it just be what it's going to be. And if, you know, he's mad, it is what it is. But what you could have done is you could have just told her, no, hey, look, it's fine. I get it. You know, we had a little moment and you know, now you're back with old boy. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, you're my friend. I genuinely love you and care about you as my friend. And we're chilling. We're good. I think that's what she needs is a bit of that kind of conversation. I think what it was, you guys didn't really have a conversation and you just let it go by because you did say, you know, you guys got distant and all of a sudden, you know, you guys stopped talking and then she reached out on your birthday and then you had asked her, hey, is everything good? And she's like, yeah, I just needed some space. So I don't think you really lost your friend. I think you're just not really putting any effort into the friendship anymore because you feel it's a lost cause when I don't think it is a lost cause. I think it's one of those things where it's like the what's it called? The relationship is just a little rocky. You know, a little rocky because of what happened. And I think if you kind of just squash it and talk to her and say, hey, no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Like, everything is good. We're straight. You know, and you make the effort to talk to her frequently and, you know, talk to her like you used to and all that good stuff. I think that might kill that. I don't know. Maybe you guys agree with me. Maybe you don't. Let me know that if you think it's a thing where she doesn't want anything to do with this person anymore, or it's a thing where she kind of just feels like, I fucked up so bad. They don't want anything to do with me when that's not the case. You know, you let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right, on to our next one. Partner rudely masturbates next to me in bed.
Bruh.
Why? What? What? Okay. Let's get into it. How can I bring this up? Okay, so I, 29 female, been with my boyfriend, 38 male, for 4 years. It's been rocky, but that's a whole other post. We're very intimate. Even after all these years, we still have sex almost daily. I have lived with him for the entirety of our relationship, and he has never been he's never been into masturbating. Not that I'd care. Actually, I've encouraged him to let me watch. Okay. All right. W girlfriend, sure, okay. However, I've never caught him doing anything like that. We shower together anytime we shower, and we're basically glued to each other. We were getting freaky and started having a hard time, or not a hard time. Apparently, couldn't get his wiener hard, and we ended up stopping and watching Netflix. Rarely has this happened, but anyway, we're laying there, and I don't know if he thought I was asleep, but I hear a buzzing and feel this unnatural jerking, and I'm instantly icking. I don't know if I turn around or let him be, but I just turn over and told him in more or less words that he doesn't have to. Anyway, this goes on all night and I'm getting pissed. But anyway, he says he needs to shower, probably to nut, and long story short, he goes to the shower and obviously finished, and I was pissed. I don't care if my partner self-pleasures. It's honestly hot to me, but while I'm next to you telling you, hey, I don't like that, I don't know how to handle this because it's never happened before. How do I even bring that up? I mean, you kind of just got to rip the Band-Aid off, girl. You know what I mean? And just be like, hey, man, why were you jerking your chicken in the bed, bro? I knew you went into the bathroom to go nut. Like, why couldn't you do that with me? Like, what is going on? I've already prefaced to you that, like, I don't mind you beating your meat. I don't mind even watching you beat your meat. I could even participate in the meat beating exercise. Like, I got a hand. I'm ready to go. You can use my hand. You know what I mean? Like, we can do this. We can make it into something. We can make it into a nice little partner, adventure. Or if you need to go beat your meat, my guy, go into another room. You know what I mean? Like, maybe another room somewhere where she's not. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, like, that's a little weird to just be like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. She seems good. Let me just, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. I don't know. I think it's mad weird. I've never run into a story like that on the almost 3 years I've been doing the show. It never really ran into that kind of scenario. And my only advice to you would just to be rip the Band-Aid off, girl. You just rip that Band-Aid off and you just figure it out. Yeah. If I'm being honest with you, bro, you just rip that Band-Aid off and you figure it out. And and that's that, if I'm being honest with you. Because there's nothing else to really say. You just confront him about it. Hey, what's going on? I thought we had this established. I told you I was cool, you know what I mean, with being a part of the meat beat activities. Like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? So, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. So, you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. What advice would you give her? I mean, is my advice enough? Would that be enough? Is it just like, hey, rip the Band-Aid off and just have a conversation with him? You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right. I cheated on my husband with a coworker. Ooh. Okay. I need advice. Girl, you need help. All right. This happened 2 years ago. My husband caught me cheating on him. We have no problem for the past 5 years of marriage. We were very happy, no kids, but we enjoyed every moment together. I love him so much. I don't know about that.
Stop the cap.
I'm so clingy to him. I don't know about that.
Stop the cap.
And he loved me more than anything. I'm sure he did. In 2023, I was offered by a person to join his group in a company. Let's call him A. the pay was great when my husband actually struggling financially because he keeps on losing his job. It was a great opportunity for our future. After a year in the new company, I'm getting close to A because of work. A was in his late 40s and I'm in my early 30s. A is not competent with technology, so I've been helping him and we grew closer. At first, I'm not so comfortable with A and told my husband about this, but we just wiped it away since A had helped me get the job. Then my husband was outstationed for a week and I told A I couldn't work late because I'll be home alone. I have always been transparent to A because he is so nice to me. Once I reached home, A called me and confessed his feelings. By the way, he is married with 4 kids also. Damn. Oh, I had never said no to A because of the deed he did. So it's awkward and he kept on forcing me to say I liked him back. So I did and he kept on flirting with me flirting with me the whole week. I didn't tell my husband because I was scared, but sooner I did. Everything A told me dismissed by my husband. I was rude to him. A called me every day to validate my feelings for him. I asked A if we could end this thing, but A said it's a feeling no one can deny. I was so freaking stupid. I don't know how my brain works. Then my husband found out. He confronted A and offered me to reconcile. I acknowledged my mistake. I admit everything to my family and his, but my husband is never the same. Though he wanted to reconcile, but he always threatened to divorce me, and I begged him to stay. He insults me, calls me names, ignores me, didn't eat my cooking, etc. He refused me. He loudly said he will never forgive me. I asked him to join me to try to find a professional help, but he refused. He said he doesn't need a therapist or anything because it's not his fault. I planned for our vacation, but the moment we returned home, he acted differently. I'd probably act differently too, bro. And I'm sure he kind of looks at it like, man, we're married and it's like more trouble than it's worth breaking up with you and leaving you. Because look, it's the fact that you were able to be talked into, being so affectionate with another guy over the fact that he got you a job. Look, he got you a job. That's great. But that doesn't mean you need to do everything this guy fucking says. That's not justification to do everything this guy, homeboy was just holding that over you weirdly, where it was just oh yeah, hey, do you want to go hang out and this and that? Remember, I got you the job, and you're just oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, no, I'm down. I can hang out. And that's cool. He's just oh, I really like you. And I hope you like me too. You know what I mean? You should say it back because I got you a job. And she's just oh, yeah, no, I like you too. Yeah, definitely. Bro, the fact that you were so easily swayed like that, even I would feel that way too. I'm if my girl is easily swayed like that, she's not my girl. Let's be real. If your girl is easily swayed like that, that's not your girl. It was just your turn. You know what I mean? That's not my girl. Because again, if that was your girl, you know what I mean? Nothing would be getting in the way of that. You wouldn't be able to be convinced so easily just because he got you a job and just because he, got you his opportunity or whatever. You wouldn't let that be loaded over you for him to get compliance for what he wants out of you. You know what I mean? And he ain't no better. The other dude, that dude is no fucking better. You want to know why that dude's no better? That man got 4 kids and a wife. Bro got 4 kids and a wife. The fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Bro, that's wild. So, and I guarantee you weren't the only girl in the office he was doing that shit to. If I'm being honest with you, yeah, I think you were just one of many that he's done this shit to. And that's why he was so smooth with it. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to operate, all that. He was just like, yeah, I know how to get him. I get him a job, I put him in a good spot, and I Lloyd that shit over him. I'm like, yeah, nah, you gonna come out and get coffee with me. Why? Because I got you a job, bitch. You know, like, you shouldn't have let him be able to talk you into that. And I guarantee you, your husband is looking at it like, bro, if you are so easily swayed like that, who's to say that you're not going to be able to be easily swayed in the future? You know, what if a guy comes out of nowhere with a greater and bigger opportunity? You know what I mean? He puts you in like a high VP position, and you're like, oh my God, this is great. I'm making X 100,000 a month, you know, a year, sorry. You know, and your homeboy is just sitting there swaying you like, yeah, you want to know, you know, why you're making all that money? Because of me. So let's go get a coffee. Let's go do a dinner. Just you and me. Come back to the penthouse, baby. You know, we doing this. Like, you can be easily swayed. That's how he feels. He looks at it like you can be easily swayed if the guy has enough over you. You know, and that's, I think, where a lot of his anxiety is coming from, a lot of his like thought process coming from. And at this point, he just kind of doesn't respect you anymore, because he looks at it like, bro, for you to be easily swayed and to do all this stuff, like, I can't respect you. I just can't. You know what I mean? I can't respect a woman who is able to be easily swayed by another man. Like, that just, it don't work. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's tough for you. That is tough for you, bro. Yeah, absolutely tough. I mean, how can you restart? Because she's asking, how can we restart? And like, you know, what advice would you give? You're just going to have to suck it up. You know, you're just going to have to kind of take it for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, he's just kind of, he's going to be grouchy about it, crotchety, this and that. You just got to keep pushing through it. You know, keep doing all the things that you're doing. You cook dinner for him, even though he doesn't eat it. You cook his clothes, or you cook his clothes. You cook him dinner, even though he doesn't eat it. You wash his clothes, you fold them, even though he doesn't say thank you. You know, you still clean up after him and all that kind of, because you got a lot of work to do, girl. You got a lot of work to do to like really build his trust back. You know, and I look at it like this. He didn't leave. So that is him kind of giving you the opportunity to build the trust back. And with that opportunity to build the trust back, you can easily be like, okay, I'm going to have to suck shit up and do it, even though I don't want to. And, you know, it's going to suck. I mean, if you can't tolerate that and you can't deal with that, that's fine. That's on you. Do what you're going to do, and you can leave. But if you really want him back, you're going to have to suck it up, girl. You know, and I don't know how long it'll be for him. You know, it could be a couple weeks, could be a month, could be a year. You know, a year of you doing this. But if you really love him and you really want to start over with him, that's going to be the way to do it. It's just a lot of acts of service and showing him that, hey, you know, like giving him full access to your phone. You know, you never be on your phone. You never hide your phone. You know what I mean? You take your password off your phone, or if you do have a password and you can't really take the password off, you know what I mean? You give him the password and full access to everything. You gotta do it. And I would be saying the same thing if the roles were reversed, you know what I mean? And you were willing to work on it with him. You know, the roles would be reversed in that point where it's like, yeah, he's going to have to, you know, you have to put some work in, you know, that's how it goes. But if you're not willing to do that, it's okay. Hey, you know, it is what it is. But yeah. All right. So, you guys let me know what you think about that one in there. If you have some advice for her, go ahead and put it down in the comments. You know what I mean? Let us know. All right. She needs the help. Okay. Let's get on to our next one. A wife is chatting to a guy. Damn. Oh, shit.
Damn.
We both are married for 12 years and have a 8-year-old kid as well. My wife is chatting with a guy on Snapchat from the last 2 months. Cooked. It's over. Bro, Snapchat is the biggest fucking cheating app ever, bro. I don't date girls with Snapchats. I legitimately ask girls, I'm like, hey, do you have a Snapchat? And if they're like, yeah, I have a Snapchat. Oh, I don't use it though. Oh, this and that. Like, the fact that it's downloaded on your phone, sweetheart. Nope. Good. I'm gone. I'm out of here. because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that shit. No, thank you. That is the biggest fucking cheating app ever, bro. Motherfuckers be slick on there. And I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to deal with that. No, thank you. I will leave. I have read their chats, and it was a mix of normal talks, sexting, romantic talks, and work-related talks. When I confronted her, she said that she is doing it because she's not happy with me. We are not compatible. Priorities differ, etc. Oh, bro. Bro, you are so cooked. It's ridiculous. Oh, my God. Also, she told she cannot leave me or divorce as we have a kid and because of society. Also, she told she will just keep it till chatting and not anything else. Okay, god damn, y'all need to proofread your fucking scenarios, bro. God damn, I get it if English is not your first language. That's fine, but god damn. I'm reading verbatim. Okay. I am not liking her talking to that guy, but at the same time, her behavior is normal towards me and, as mentioned above, won't leave me. What should I do in this situation, bro? You're absolutely cooked in this situation because if I'm being honest with you, bro, like, I would just tell her, and I know this, I know you're not going to do this. You know what I mean? And I hate that I'm suggesting this because I know that you're not going to do this because you're still in love with her. You know what I mean? Like, regardless if she's out, you know, talking to this dude and sexting and all that kind of stuff and, you know, things still feel normal, it's not normal. And, you know, I want to say, dude, you got to, you know, make it to where it's just like, hey, let's just co-parent. I talk to other women, you talk to other dudes. It is what it is, but I just don't think you're going to do that because you're so in love with this girl. And I get it. I'm not sitting here, you know, saying you bitch and this and that. No. Justified like crazy, bro. Justified like crazy. You really are. Because it's a thing where it's like, for you to be feeling this way, man, it really goes to show that's like you really loved her, you really cared about her, you out here, you know, like, yeah, man, I had a kid with you and I got married to you because I love you and you're my girl, you know. And so yeah, man, your best option would to be just say, hey, we're just gonna co-parent and we're going to, you know, just see other people and it is what it is. But I get it. I know that you're not going to do that because I know if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't want to do that either. You know, if this was the other way around and you were telling me this, I would sit there and just be like, yo, dude, I hear you. But at the same time, I don't know if I could do that. Like, I'm still in love with her. I wake up to her every day. I see her in my home every day. All I want to do is hug her and kiss her because that's the woman I love, bro. And I get it, man. And you might have to get to a point where, you know, you might have to just get to a point where, you know, it gets so unbearable, bro, that you can't deal with it anymore. You know, and that's going to be tough for you, my guy. It's going to be absolutely tough. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, as well as, you know, some possible advice for the guy. Because like I said, any advice that we give, any advice that I give or anything like that, I just don't think he's going to take it because he's so locked in with this girl, bro. And I get it. You're like, I found the one. I married her. I fucking, you know, gave her a kid. I thought we was moving and grooving, and then all of a sudden she finds this, you know, Chad Thundercock out of nowhere, and she just pushes me aside, man. And so, yeah, bro, I hope the best for you. I really, really do, man. I really hope the best for you, my guy. All right, we're going to get on to our next one. What do I do? My boyfriend thinks I did him wrong. All right, me and my boyfriend were having the smexies. I decided to ride him until he nutted. Goddamn, girl, I made my long-running joke. I'm gonna have a baby, but sorry, I just edge on and hop off and drink it. Okay, a lot of information here. Okay. So we got drunk and he took my joke seriously. He threw me off and, he threw me off, but straight away doggy styled me. And he came in me. We both agreed not to. Afterwards, he said I graped him. I have been graped at gunpoint, so I feel like what? I would never baby trap for real. I have spent maybe $2,000 on Plan Bs just for him. Yo! I ain't gonna lie to you though. Alright, let just hear me out a little bit. That's a real bitch, bro. Man, that's a real one. That's a real one. You know what I mean? That's a real one. Like the fact that she like, hey, condoms don't exist. You know what I mean? If you nutting me, cool. Off to the target, baby. You know what I mean? Hey. Just saying. Shee. All right. I'm distressed. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that thought of someone who ruined me. I did. Did I truly fuck up? It's been months, and he says he says he's still truly in love with me. But every time I question why he feels that way, he cries. Why can't I feel that way? I don't dismiss his feelings, just question them. Should I break up with him? I can't fathom myself being with the type of person, especially when I've experienced it. I don't want to love him if he feels that way. Ooh. Okay, so essentially, I guess they were doing it. They were having sex usually, before homeboy nuts, you know what I mean? She'll put her mouth on it and, he'll nut in her mouth and all that good stuff. But I guess there was a time where, she was on top doing the thing. She had made a joke saying, oh my God, put a baby in me. He took the joke seriously. And so then they swap positions. He nuts inside of her. And then afterwards, because they didn't agree to the whole nutting inside of her thing at that moment, homeboy is like, yo, you graped me. And she's like, I would never baby trap you. I've spent over $2,000 on Plan Bs for you because I love, feeling the rawness of your dick, but I ain't trying to have no baby with you, which I think is a W for her homegirl. You know what I mean? Oh, super W. But I think homeboy is kind of just in his head a little too much, if I'm being real with you. And then the fact that homeboy is kind of crying, it's like, oh, come on, man. Like, why are you crying about that shit, bro? Look, man, I get it. Like, if you got some, underlying trauma and all that kind of, like for her, she's like, bro, apparently, I guess she was in a situation where she got raped at gunpoint. I don't know what that was all about, but, she looks at it like, bro, if anybody got some trauma, I got some fucking trauma, nigga. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest here. And so it was one of those things where it's like, bro, if anybody got some trauma, it's me. And the fact that you're sitting here and, being upset for nutting in me just because we didn't agree about it, a little weird. And then you want to be sitting here crying about it. I can see and if I'm being honest with you, the fact that you're seeing him cry like that and about what it's about, I think for you, you're slowly starting to lose respect for him in the sense of how the fuck am I going to sit here and look at him as a man and a leader and all that stuff in our relationship when homeboy is crying about nutting in me when we didn't agree about it. And he's like, oh my God, I feel so graped. Bro, what the, you know what I mean? It's a clear and obvious misunderstanding. She made a joke. He didn't take it as a joke. They, nutted in it. She looked at it like it's cool. It's all good. It's all gravy. I'm just going to go to the Target, get me a little Plan B, pop, pop, and I'm chilling. We straight. And that's how she looked at it. I made a joke. You took the joke seriously. Nutted in me. I'm going to agree to Plan B. We're chilling. Everything's fine. But he's over here. You can't believe it. And she's trying to be, a good girlfriend and be like, oh, it's okay. That's fine. But I'm sure it's now gotten to a point to where he cries about this so much that she's just like, I can't deal with him anymore. Like, I just can't with this dude anymore. I'm over it. I can't. He wants to cry about it all, every single time. He's just a blubbering little baby over it. And so I think for her, she kind of just looks at it, dude, I'm done. I'm done. But at the same time, I'm sure she has conflicting emotions because I guarantee you she still loves him to some degree and is like, I still care about him. I still love him. You know, he's a great guy. He's got great redeeming qualities of this and that, you know, but as of lately, he's just been a blubbering bitch, you know? And so, yeah, look, my thing is I can see why you would want to break up with him. And I don't think you would be wrong in wanting to break up with him just in the simple fact that it's like, sure, he may have cried once or twice and you're like, it is what it is. Traumatic moments, you know, that shit happens, whatever. But at that time, it's like, get over it. You know, like, look, I get it. Women sit there and they're just like, oh, yeah, no, you can be vulnerable with me and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But again, dude, if it gets to a point where you're just crying all the damn time about the same shit, bro, that's when women get to a point where they're just like, all right, man, get over it, bro. Like, I don't know what you crying. Like, nigga, I should be crying. You know, I'm bleeding out my vagina right now. And you crying? Bruh, come on, man. What are we doing here? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, like I said, if you're at that point, I would understand 100% why you're breaking up with him. You letting me know what you think about it in the comments. Should she break up with him? Should she not? Is there, you know, an underlining way of them to stay together, fix it, whatever? You guys let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get into our last scenario for today's Patreon. I mean, sorry, not Patreon. Today's Tuesday episode. Am I overreacting for dumping this guy the next day over these? Okay. I met a guy online, went on 2 dates. The first was met and the texting was fun. So I agreed to meet him again. In about 4 hours together, all this happened. He said he would pick a place the night before he didn't. An hour before meeting, it was raining. I suggested we could call a rain check since he had to go back to work later that night. His immediate reaction was, what the hell? You wanted to cancel our plans for my benefit? He then talked with clear contempt about his vegetarian ex, saying she used to agree to eat at meaty places because she didn't want to be an inconvenience. He said he was triggered and projected that onto me, saying there won't be a fucking dish for you to eat, like he was reliving an old fight. I'd been sick and coughing earlier that day. While we were looking for food, he stopped at a convenience store and bought water for himself. He didn't ask if I needed anything. I didn't, but I still logged that. While we were walking, a guy passing by glanced at me. He noticed and said, how did you let him get away? He just stared at you. I didn't know what to make of that. I wouldn't know to make... What? Huh? What? So you guys are walking. A guy walks by and, you know, he checking her old girl out. He like, yeah, hey, what's up? How you doing? And then dude's over here just like, oh, wow. How'd you let that one get away, huh? Like, I mean, like what? Huh? Okay. He kept twisting my words. Small, but wrong. What's your problem became what the hell is your problem? What do you think? Okay, first off, he wasn't twisting your words. He just kind of, you know, rephrased it more aggressively. Okay? That's one. We already went over the other one. I don't get that one. Why a guy would be checking you out and you're over here talking about, I mean, I guess that she looks at it like if he's willing to be like, oh, you know, how'd you let that guy go away or get away? It's more of, you know, he doesn't care if another guy hits on her in front of him, as if like, oh, I don't care if another guy talks to you. I don't care if you date another guy. You know what I mean? It just looks like, I guess, cucky. I don't know. And then you go on to, you know, you were sick and coughing earlier that day. You were looking for food and stopped in the convenience store. Look, you can't expect somebody to ask something or do something for you that you didn't ask for. You know what I mean? You can't. I'm sorry. You can't do that. You can't sit there and like judge somebody or somebody that you're talking to for not doing something that you expect them to do that you didn't ask for. Like, I'm just sorry. That to me just makes no sense. Just because if you saw him going in there and you were like, hey, can you get me a water? And then he comes back and just has a water for himself. Okay, I'm with you on that one. But if he leaves to go get, and you know that he's going to get water, he's going to get snacks or whatever the case may be, and you don't say anything, I'm going to think you don't want anything. Bro, speak up. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You're an adult. You're not a child. Fucking speak up. Like, that always pisses me off with girls, that they do that. They expect you to just ask. They expect you to just do this. It's like, no, bro. You're an adult. Speak up. So, no, I think you're completely wrong on that one. Now, his immediate reaction to what the hell, you wanted to cancel our plan for the benefit. He then talked with clear contempt about his ex and all of that stuff. That to me is annoying. Okay? That to me is very annoying. I can't stand when you go on a date with somebody and they just talk about their fucking exes all the time. It's like, bro, I don't give a shit. I don't care about your exes. I don't care if they exploded in a car accident yesterday. I just don't care. All right? Like, I just don't. We're on a date. We're talking about us and us, from now to the future. I don't care what happened back there. I really don't. I just don't. I really don't care about that stuff. I want to know you. I want to know you and how you and I's life is going to continue and be, you know what I mean? Like, talking about your ex, worst thing ever. So yes, you like jotting that down, 1000%. I agree with you on that one, girl. I agree with you on that one. And then, the whole hour before meeting, it was raining and suggested we call a rain check, cause he had to go to work that night. I think that's great. Dude, if I had a date set up with a girl and the rain is just coming down real hard, you know what I mean? And what we had planned is completely ruined by the rain and stuff. If the girl is like, hey, let's do a rain check, I'd be like, are you sure we can do this? You know what I mean? Like, he should have been the one to kind of step in and like readjust the plans. Like, recently, I went on a date. All right. And we went to go do an escape room. Fantastic. It was fun. It was super cool. I think I talked about it on the show. I'm not 100% sure. But we went to an escape room. It was a lot of fun. Then we were supposed to go to Topgolf right after. Guess what? Topgolf had a 2-hour wait. We were like, oh, hell nah. So what did I do? I said, let me go ahead and audible on the play. I said, hut, 690, audibled, took her to a Korean barbecue place. We had an amazing time. Then we went to a little outdoor mall. Everything that I had planned, like after the escape room, went to shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything I had planned after that went to shit. But what did I do? I audibled and was just like, oh, don't worry. This is what I told her. Because, we were walking out. She was like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, I really wanted to, Topgolf or whatever. And I was like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I got a place for us to go. I got the rest of the day planned out. I got contingency plans. And she was like, oh, yeah? You guys, okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see these contingency plans. Let's go. You know what I mean? Pulled up to the little Korean barbecue restaurant. She was like, oh, okay. This nice. You know what I mean? We had a little Korean barbecue. We did our thing. And then I was just like, okay, cool. It's a little late. Did you want me to take you to our last spot? Or did you need me to take you home? You know what I mean? I like to respect, the woman that I'm out with, time and stuff like that. And, she was like, no, I'm down to go. And I'm like, okay, let's go. We went to a little mall. We shared a little caramel apple. We, walked around, had a good time. It was great. Fantastic, dude. And so you got to kind of be that guy that is able to make the audibles on the play. And for her to like see that he wasn't really good at doing that. Yeah, I can see that checking, all right. So, and then, the whole him not planning the date, bro, if you're gonna ask a girl out, man, you gotta plan the date. That's just bare minimum, bro. Everybody knows this. I'm not sitting here telling you anything that you don't already know. This is not rocket science. This is not new technology. You know what I mean? It's not. Every girl expects that. Every girl expects you to have a plan and have backup plans, bro. You have to be planning a date like you are planning a military operation. Okay, you need to have infills, you need to have objectives, and you need to have exfills, and you need to have multiple of them. You need to be able to, all right, I'm picking you up at this time, your infill. Then I'm taking you to this place, time. You got to time it right. Time everything perfect. Okay, it takes me X amount of time to get to her house, and then I need to be at the first place at this time, So, okay, that means I need to get to her house at this time. So I get to her house at this time, then I can get to the first place at this time. Boom, that puts us in a good spot. We get there, we have fun. We should be there approximately maybe 2 hours. Okay, cool. So if I'm going to give myself 2.5 hours though. So I'm going to give myself 2.5 hours, and then I'm going to plan the next thing. Once I plan the next thing, then it's like, cool, we get there early. Why? Because I planned ahead. I planned 30 minutes, that 30-minute block ahead. So now we got 30 minutes. We chilling. I'm like, no, we're just waiting on a reservation, or we're just waiting on our turn to go through the thing. You know what I mean? We got here early, so blah, blah, blah. And girls love that. They're going to be like, well, we got here early. What? You got something set up? Like, they're not going to say it, but in their mind, they're like, bro's planned out. He's ready to go. He's got this shit going. And so then you guys go, you do your thing, and then, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, cool, well, we're going to get in there, you know what I mean? It should take us maybe an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And then in the last spot, I should get there by this time, but I'll go ahead and give her the option of, hey, do you want to, go home? Because the last thing you guys do on a date, and I'm a big proponent of like, don't go to just one place. Try to go to multiple places on a date, because it really shows a girl that you're able to time management. You're able to get things done. You're a reliable person. You're able to get to places and things on time. You know what I mean? You're able to really put a lot of effort into it. It shows that, you're just doing more than a bare minimum of just a dinner. So, I have multiple things planned, but always have the last thing planned as something that doesn't have a time limit or time constraint. Whether you guys are going, to an outdoor mall, you guys go to a movie, you guys go, I don't know, there's a nice park and you want to go for a walk or whatever it may be. Try to make it something where it's just like, time, it's time free. You're not on time. You don't need a reservation. You don't need none of that. But the first two places, always, or even just the first place, always have a reservation. Always make it time gated, because it shows her that you are reliable. You know what I mean? You're reliable when you need to be somewhere at a certain time. It shows her that, and women fucking gawk over that, man. They love it. And you'd let her know, hey, do you need me to take you home? I know it's late, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. You let her have that out, because women need that out. They need that out to feel comfortable. And you as the man giving her that out, say you guys did this. Say you guys went on a date, you picked her up, or you even met up. You guys met up at the first place. You guys are there, you know what I mean? Reservation goes through, everything has fun. You guys are talking, jabbing, everything's good, chilling, do your thing. And, you have one more place to go to, but you decide, hey, I know it's, kind of getting a little late. You might be busy. You might have some stuff to do today. I don't know, but if you need to go home, we can end it here and no problem. If not, if you're free still, let's go do something else. You know what I mean? I got another thing planned for us. And that gives her that moment of like, okay, I'm reevaluating the date so far. Is it good? Is it a guy that I want to continue to talk to? Is it a guy that I want to continue to see? Is this somebody that I'm really feeling? I don't know. Because sometimes a girl, will kind of have a good time, but it just feels like friends. And then sometimes she has a good time and it feels like this is more than friends, or it could be more than friends. You never know. That's why you give her the out. So that way, if she feels like, this is just kind of more than friends, she's ready to dip, and you give her that out and you're like, oh, don't worry about it. I had a great time. This was a lot of fun. I hope to talk to you again soon. You know what I mean? And you just put the ball in her court. She goes home. It is what it is. She'll probably text you, I wasn't feeling it. And you're just like, I figured. But if she's like, no, I don't have anything going on today. No, I'd love to go to the second place. What's this? You guys take one car to the second place. You go and do your thing. You enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Like, dating is not hard, guys. It's not. It's very easy. But motherfuckers just, Motherfuckers just don't want to, I guess, put the time in, I guess. I don't know. But that's going to be today's episode, man. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Again, thank you for all the support. I love you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been showing. Let's make February another crazy month, because last month you guys showed up and showed out, and I appreciate all the support you guys showed for last month. So let's keep the train rolling, baby. Let's keep the 2026 train rolling, all right? Love you guys all. I will see you on Thursday for our thread and our book. And yeah, that's going to be that. Love you all, and peace and chicken grease.